Temperature. Objectives. Define temperature. Compare the Celsius and Kelvin temperature scales. Convert between degrees Celsius and Kelvin temperature scales. What is temperature? Temperature is the measure of how hot or cold something is. It is defined as the average kinetic energy of the particles in a sample of matter. It is a type of energy associated with motion. The faster the particles move, the greater the average kinetic energy, the greater the temperature. How does the amount of substance affect temperature? Here we have two samples, one containing 400 ml at 20 degrees Celsius and the other containing 300 ml at 60 degrees Celsius. It does not matter that the volume is 400 ml. Since it's at a lower temperature, it contains a lower average kinetic energy compared to the one at 60 degrees Celsius at a higher average kinetic energy. The temperature, or the average kinetic energy, does not depend on the amount of substance present. Which sample of water contains particles having the highest average kinetic energy? In this example, we are asked to identify a sample with the highest average kinetic energy, or the temperature. Here we observe choice 1 at 98 degrees Celsius is the highest temperature, which is the highest average kinetic energy. A common misconception: the sample with the largest volume, sample 4, at 95 ml of water is not correct, since the average kinetic energy is the temperature, and sample 4, or choice 4, has the lowest temperature. The sample with the smallest volume, choice 1, which is 25 ml, is correct since it has the highest temperature at 98 degrees Celsius. How can we measure temperature? A thermometer is used to measure temperature. A change in temperature causes a change in volume of the liquid, usually colored alcohol, which results in a change in height of the liquid present in the tube of a thermometer. The temperature of ice melting and water boiling can be used to calibrate a thermometer. What are the three common temperature scales? Fahrenheit, Celsius, and Kelvin. The freezing point of water is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius, and 273 kelvins. The boiling point of water is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius, and 373 kelvins. There's a difference of 180 degrees in the Fahrenheit scale from the freezing point to the boiling point, while on the Celsius and Kelvin scale, both of them has a difference of 100 degrees from the freezing point of water to the boiling point of water. Absolute zero is about negative 460 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 273 degrees Celsius, and 0 Kelvin. Absolute zero is when all molecular motion stops, and this happens at 0 kelvins. Increasing 1 degree Celsius will increase how many kelvins? 1 degree on the Celsius scale is equivalent to 1 degree on the Kelvin scale. In the diagram, you can see from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, there's 100 degrees. While on the Kelvin scale, we also go up 100 degrees from 273 Kelvin to 373 Kelvin. If the temperature of a beaker of water is at 25 degrees Celsius, and it had increased by 10 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius, there would also be a 10-degree increase in kelvins for that sample of water. How can we convert Celsius into kelvins? Using reference table T, Kelvin is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273. Example 1. Convert 25 degrees Celsius into kelvins. Using our formula, Kelvin is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273. Substituting 25 for degrees Celsius, we have 298 kelvins. Example 2. Converting negative 40 degrees Celsius into kelvins. Substituting into our formula, negative 40 plus 273, we have 233 kelvins. How can we convert Kelvin into Celsius? Using the same formula from reference table T, example 1, convert 303 Kelvin into degrees Celsius. Substituting into our formula, 303 203 Kelvin is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273. Here we subtract both sides by 273 and our answer is 30 degrees Celsius. Example 2. Convert 180 kelvins into degrees Celsius. Substituting into our formula, 180 is equal to degrees Celsius plus 273. Subtracting 273 from both sides, we have negative 93 degrees Celsius. Where can you locate the melting and boiling points of the elements? Reference table S contains the melting and boiling points in kelvins for the first 98 elements. Here is a sample from reference table S showing the melting point and the boiling point in kelvins. Practice question. Which of these elements has the lowest melting point? Looking at reference table S, we need to identify the various elements. Then we need to identify their melting points. In this example, you should indicate next to the answer choices the different melting points, then compare them for the lowest melting point, which is Rb or rubidium. The common misconception in this question is not identifying the lowest melting point, but the highest melting point. Then you would make the mistake of choosing choice 1. In addition, you can also identify the boiling point instead of the melting point.